Malcolm, do you not think there is any justification for Harry and Meghan? You know, they want their private space. They didn't necessarily want to be in London. They've got a new baby. They're very popular. They add to the whole sort of tourist attraction element of the royal family, especially over in the States. What's the problem?
Well, I think the issue really is, I think people will be shocked by the scale of this, £2.4 million on a renovation. And they've said it's for rewiring and they've sort of listed a few kind of essentials. But we simply don't know whether they've had silk wallpaper put in or some great big, let's say, a duck house in the lake. Who knows? We simply don't know. So I think questions need to be asked about what do you spend £2.4 million on to renovate a cottage. It sounds to me like they're now living in the lap of luxury, and it just doesn't go down very well with the public.
Robert Jobson, do you think that it's excessive? And actually, the public pay for the royal family, so why are the public suddenly going to be outraged when they know that you know, it costs millions to fund the royal family anyway? I worry that this is a Prince Harry and Meghan thing.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I think that the royal family does pay for itself overall, but it's the way this has been handled. It's not very good. The fact is £2.4 million on renovation is too much money. That's the problem here, ultimately. But this cottage is owned by the Crown Estate. It's the Queen's responsibility to keep those properties renovated. This was going to be renovated anyway. The problem we have here is that it's too much money. There was a flat available, a big apartment at Kensington Palace, number 1. The Duke of Gloucester was happy for
Well, they were already in a nice flat, right?
They were in a little house, actually.
Then they were offered a huge apartment.
They were offered a huge apartment, which was Duke of Gloucester's apartment.
But it was in the wrong place. They don't necessarily want to be right in the heart of
So why aren't they paying for where they want to be?
I just think that the people won't understand that. The fact is that all the security's in place, all the security's there. The roof was being rebuilt for about 1.2 million, but that was going to be happening anyway. I think that they're going to leave themselves open to criticism, which they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
All the soft furnishes and all that, they're all being paid for by Prince
the higher
Charles.
spec stuff.
And also, everything they do in public is paid for by Charles's Duchy of Cornwall.
But there's a wider issue, Duncan, isn't there? And it's this, there's a growing sense from the media that they want their cake and eat it, Meghan and Harry. They don't want to pitch up. Meghan refused to go to see Donald Trump when he was ever on his state visit because she doesn't like Donald Trump. Well, you've got to get used as a royal to meeting people you don't...
she'd had the baby.
Well, she managed to appear 48 hours later at Trooping of the Colours, so she was fine. But she chose not to see Trump because she doesn't like him and didn't want her friends like the Clooneys and Oprah to see her cavorting with Trump. So she's picking and choosing what duty she decides she's going to be free for. I don't think you can do that kind of thing and not expect to be criticised over renovations. But let's remind everybody, is a completely private property. You can't. The public isn't allowed to go and see it like they are with Buckingham Palace.
No, and if a photographer tries to take a picture, he gets an angry letter from the palace saying, leave us alone, they're private. But the other thing, it's about, you know, it wasn't that long ago that Meghan was visiting a charity for people so impoverished that they were involved in the sex trade. She wrote, if you remember, little messages of support on bananas, and then jets off for a baby shower and stays in a £30,000 a night hotel suite. This is just another example, as far as I can see, of you can't just preach the message of supporting people in poverty and the environment, everything, and then go and spend £2.4 million on renovating your house. It doesn't look good.
Well, OK, but Robert Jobson,
I lived in a palace.
OK, so plenty of wealthy people support good causes. It doesn't necessarily mean
but they're not being bankrolled by the British
get
public.
rid of all of your money in order to not be accused of
that is fair enough, and I think they do a good job.
And those rich people are not being bankrolled by the taxpayer.
This is the problem. The problem here is that it's costing far too much money. And £2.4 million, they should have seen this one coming. They could have avoided it by going into simply moving in next door to William and Kate at the...
and that would be a lot better. William and Kate's place, it cost £4.5 million to do up.
It did, and that's what I was trying to say earlier on, is that basically there is a responsibility to these Grade 2, Grade 1 listed...
But hang on, Robert, hang on. William and Kate, he's going to be the King of England, right? Yeah. He's the next monarch after his father, right? So there's a particular way they get treated, which is to do with them being the future monarchs, right? Harry and Meghan, they're way down the list, right?
Yes,
they're never going to be king and queen.
Just as popular.
Well, they may be popular, but it's about who the taxpayer has to stump up for, right? And the bottom line is they are he's 8th or 9th now, I think, on the list to be. He's not going to be king, right? Right, whatever. So this is a private property, which they didn't need to move to. They decided they wanted to. She's a multi-millionaire from her time as a Hollywood actress. He's a multi-millionaire from all the money he's had over the years. 2 multi-millionaires asking the British public, the taxpayer, to contribute £2.5 million to renovate an entirely different property to the one that they've been offered, I think is a bit off.
It's an own goal. We both agree that the royal family do a good job, and I think that they effectively, over a period of time, pay for themselves. But this is an own goal in PR. I think one of the best things they could do is not announce it themselves, coming out with this business of the royal family costs the same as a loaf of bread and all that nonsense. They should announce it through Parliament. It should be scrutinised through Parliament.
Well, look, we had a vote. We had a vote running on Good Morning Britain on the online. How's it going?
We did. So far, we asked, should the taxpayer pay for this renovation? 13% of you said yes. 87% of you said no.
And it's a big vote, right?
And nearly 9,000 people voted.
So you know, the British public are speaking, and they're heading the vote, and they're basically saying we're not having it because it's the fact it's not the home they were in. It's not their existing property, which the crucial point is as well. There's so much security around Kensington Palace. You didn't need to add to it, right? Once they decided Frogmore Cottage, which is a mansion, by the way, it's not a cottage, was going to be their new home, then you've got to make it all secure. You've got to man it with security people. There's a whole extra cost that wouldn't have been there in Kensington Palace.